everyone! Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. I'm Mandy. Today we are making Singapore noodles at home and I'm going to show you how to cook it better than your local takeout. Despite being named after Singapore, this recipe was actually born in Hong Kong in the 1960s, the time when Hong Kong was a British colony. The history behind it is very interesting, which I have included in the pinned comment. Go check it out! Rice noodle is what you want to use for this recipe. It is also labeled as rice vermicelli noodles or mi fen. You'll find 3 different levels of thickness on the market mainly. They usually don't label the thickness, but the package is translucent, you can see through it. So my favorite one is this medium thick because it doesn't take too long to cook, it doesn't break easily, and it doesn't tangle with each other. It works like a magic in the wok. This one is very thin and labeled as angel hair. It works for this recipe. The taste will come out the same. You just have to cook it for a shorter time. It does break easily and it likes to tangle with each other. So when you go fluff them in the wok, it flies everywhere. However, I find this one is widely available in big supermarkets in the United States, such as Walmart, Target, and Publix. That's why I want to bring up this option to you, even though it's not the best. This one is extra thick. I use it for making noodle soup. That's why I didn't test it in this recipe, but you can definitely give it a go if this is your only option. You just have to adjust the cooking time and heat based on your own judgment. And if you do give it a try, please leave a comment below and tell me how it goes. By the way, it doesn't matter what kind of brand you are using because I have tried so many and I have never had any issues. I'll be using 200 grams of dried rice noodles, which are 2 servings. To prepare the noodles, you just bring 8 cups of water to a boil and turn off the heat. Drop the noodles right in there. Let it soak for about 5 minutes. If you are using the angel hair, you will soak for only 2 minutes. We don't want to cook it all the way through, otherwise they turn mushy when you stir fry them. You can give it a bite to test it. The noodles should be slightly chewy at the center. Take them out and spread them on a cooling rack. Let the rest of the heat to help to evaporate the excess moisture. This is the key to avoid clumpy and sticky noodles. While waiting, we can go through the rest of the ingredients. Although you can use any kinds of meat in your stir-fry, roasted pork is what makes this dish Cantonese. To be specific, not just regular roasted pork, it is char siu, which is also known as Chinese barbecue pork, and it is so popular in Hong Kong that it became the characteristic ingredient for a lot of Hong Kong-style dishes, such as egg foo young, char siu fried rice, char siu noodle soup, and char siu steamed buns. If you're not living in Hong Kong and you want to make it authentic, you have to either buy it from Chinatown or make it yourself. I do have a recipe for it. You can click here to learn how to make it. If you cannot buy it and you don't want to spend time to make it, then the closest replacement for you will be some sweet and savory barbecue meat. Here is 150 grams of peeled and deveined shrimp. Simply season it with a pinch of salt and some black pepper to taste. If you don't eat shrimp, that is alright. Singapore noodles can also be made with firm tofu, marinated chicken, or pork slices. Crack 2 eggs and beat them well until you don't see any obvious egg white. Set it aside. Next, we will talk about the vegetables. There are no restrictions because you can just throw almost anything into your stir fry, but I do want to show you what Cantonese restaurants will use. Some thinly julienned carrot, a quarter of a medium-sized onion. I sliced it lengthwise into thin strips. Some bell pepper strips. I used green and red color so the dish would look nicer. If you don't care about the presentation, you can just use one color. Some bean sprouts. This is 2 cloves of garlic that I thinly sliced. a little bit of garlic chive. This is also called 韭菜. If you don't have it, green onions will do just fine. Cut them into 1.5 inches long. Next, we will put all the seasonings together. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, 2 teaspoons of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 to 2 teaspoons of curry powder depending on your taste. This is what I'm using. Although you can use any types of curry powder you have, the brand does affect the final taste. You can experiment with a few and pick your favorite one. Some people use curry paste, which also work, but you will have to adjust the seasonings because every brand of curry paste has different level of sodium, sugar, and spiciness. For example, I have tried this Lee Kum Kee curry paste before. It's so mild and sweet that I have to omit the sugar and add some chili powder to boost up the spiciness. 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Mix thoroughly to combine all the ingredients. Turmeric is optional because curry powder already contains turmeric, but this brand that I use is not giving the dish that bright yellow color, so I have to add a little extra turmeric to make the noodles appealing. You may not need it depending on what you use. Okay, I think we have everything ready. Let's start cooking. As a classic Cantonese stir-fry, wok hei is the key to bring out the spirit of this dish and make it better than your local takeout. The trick for home cooking to reach that wok hei effect is to preheat the wok until it is slightly smoking before adding any ingredients. For those of you who don't know about it, wok hei is also known as the breath of the wok. It refers to a complex aroma and taste that are created by properly cooking the food in a well-seasoned carbon steel wok over extremely high heat. Okay, I think my wok is slightly smoking now. Let's drizzle 2 tablespoons of oil. Swirl it around to create a non-stick layer. Pour in the egg and wait for it to set. Then break the egg into big pieces like that. Push the egg to the side so you have room to toss the shrimp. The wok is super hot. It only takes about 20 seconds for the shrimp to turn pink. Now push the shrimp to the side and toss in the char siu because this is leftover meat. I want to stir it for 10 to 15 seconds over high heat to reactivate the flavor. Of course, if you are using freshly baked char siu or barbecue meat, you can add it to the wok at the end to complete the dish. Take all the proteins out and set them aside. The wok looks a bit dry. I will add 1 more tablespoon of oil. Throw in the garlic and carrot because carrot takes longer to cook. Give them a quick stir. Then add the noodles. Switch the spatula to tongs as they work great at fluffing noodles. Make sure the heat is on high the whole time. Not only does it ensure the wok hei effect, but also it prevents the noodles from sticking to the wok. A lot of people don't know about this, so their food always stick to the cookware. When that happens, people tend to add more oil to save the dish, but then your noodles will come out extra oily. I think this looks good. Let's add the sauce. Along with the vegetables, except the garlic chive. Introduce the protein back into the wok. I prefer my veggies to be fresh and crunchy. That's why I add them now, which is quite late. If you want to cook them more, you can add them to the wok earlier, not a problem at all. Quickly stir to make sure the flavor is well combined. A large wok is necessary so your noodles don't fly everywhere onto your countertop. Turmeric is a useful reference parameter. You can just go with the color. Once you don't see any white rice noodles, add the garlic, chive, and give it a final toss. You are done. Before serving, always give a taste to adjust the flavor. As I mentioned before, different brands of curry powder, curry paste, even soy sauce may vary in sodium level. Mine is perfect. This tastes so good. The noodles are thoroughly tossed in the wok, very fluffy and slightly toasty. The curry powder is pleasantly invasive because it works so good on these spindly rice noodles. Every strain is packed with complex flavors. This is a very interesting dish and it shows how multicultural Cantonese cuisine could be. I hope you give this a try soon. As always, you can click the link in the description and find the printable recipe. Thank you for watching. This video is sponsored by Souped Up Recipes Wok. This is the wok that I'm selling and I am proud to recommend it to you as I have been using it on my channel for years. It is lightweight, it responds to heat changes quickly and evenly. It can also sustain super high temperature without damage. Perfect for wok cooking. If you're interested, the link is in the description. Go check it out. Again, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!